Hello, guys, and welcome to another signing video. And as you've seen in the title by now, uh, we're going to be talking about Owen Hart and a tribute to him uh, for his birthday and his death, which is still another couple weeks though. Owen Hart, born on James Hart on May 7th, 1965, into the legendary Hart family. He started wrestling in, I believe, in high school, and then the university as the original British Bulldog under a mask. And then he went on to wrestle in Stampede Wrestling in Japan in uh, 1983 to 1988. And before I go on, as you see, I'm also accompanied with. You want to go ahead and introduce you guys?
I'm Greg Kramer.
I'm Mark Bully 316.
And go on. He went to the World Wrestling Federation as the Blue Blazer in 1988 to 1989. Then he returned to Stampede Wrestling in Japan, and he also went to Mexico between 1989 and 1991. And in 1991, he went to World Championship Wrestling, and then returned to WWF in between 91 and 99. And he was also born in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, as well. You have any thoughts of Owen?
For me, it's just sad that we missed out on some huge matches we could have had, like Owen Hart, Kurt Angle, Owen and Brock, Owen and Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko,
Eddie
Eddie Guerrero, like so many dream matches we could have had. And I think in the 1994 feud with Bret Hart, he should have won in the steel cage match at SummerSlam. They could have had a submission match at Survivor Series, him and Bret. Owen would have had Anvil in the corner. Anvil was a heel. Bulldog could have been in Bret's corner. And that match, I think Bret could have won the title back from Owen. And then Owen win the 1995 Royal Rumble. Have Shawn Michaels feud with Razor for the IC title at that time. That's what I would have done. And then have their actual main event match at WrestleMania 11. Actually have Owen Hart in the main event at WrestleMania. Would have been awesome. That's how I would have booked it.
Yeah, I totally agree. Owen Hart was a good family man. He never was like one of the guys, never partied and stuff. He was one of the nicest guys I heard, and I missed the guy every day.
And it's also well less known fact that he is not only a Canadian, but he is also American because his mother was born here in America. And of course, he was born in Canada, but his father was also born in Canada as well.
Yeah.
Which his parents is Stu and Helen Hart. Just to let everybody that doesn't know. Of course, his siblings are, and I might be wrong in age, but it's Smith, Bruce, Keith, Ellie, Wayne, Allison, Elizabeth, Brett, Ross, and Diana Hart. And of course, brother-in-laws, at least that what we know of, is the Jim the Anvil Neidhart and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith.
Yeah.
And for as far as we know, and coming from the person himself, his cousin, Roddy Piper.
Yes.
And then if you want to go into a little bit further into nieces and nephews, you got Natty Neidhart, Natalia, and then of course nephew-in-law by her, T.J. Wilson, Tyson Kidd. Then regular nephews Teddy, Harry, Davy Boy Smith Jr., Mike, and Matt Hart. And of course, he was married to Martha Hart, and they had two children by the name of Owen and Athena Hart. He was managed by the British Bulldog, or managed by Jim Cornette and Mitchie Fuji. And other than the British Bulldog, he wrestled by the name of not only Owen Hart but the Blue Angel, which was a mistake originally, and then the Blue Blazer. And he had the nicknames of Bronco, the Rocket, the King of Heart, and Blackheart. And he had multiple tag team partners with Jim the Anvil Neidhart as part of the New Foundation, Coco Beware, part of the High Energy, the British Bulldog, Yokozuna, Jeff Jarrett. And he was also in a stable, or two stables, and that's the Hart Foundation with Brett, the British Bulldog, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Brian Pillman, Sr., that is. And then he was also with the Nation. And as far as championships, he held the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship one time. Stampede British Commonwealth Mid Heavyweight Champion one time. A Stampede Wrestling International Heavyweight International Tag Team Champion one time with Ben Basberg. Stampede North American Champion Heavyweight Champion two times. USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championship one time. WWF European Champion one time. WWF Intercontinental Champion two times. WWF Tag Team Champions four times, with two times with Yokozuna, one time with the British Bulldog, and one time with Jeff Jarrett. And WWF World Tag Team Champions one time with the British Bulldog. Then, as far as accomplishments goes, he was a one-time King of the Ring winner in 1994. He was the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Rookie of the Year in 1987, Feud of the Year in 1994 with Brett versus Brett, Editor's Choice in 1999, ranked number 10 of top 500 single wrestlers in PWI and 500 in 1994, ranked number 66 of the top 500 single star wrestlers in PWI in 2003, ranked number 84 of the top 100 tag teams of PWI years 2003 with British Bulldog. With wrestling, and then the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Best Flying Wrestler in 1987 and 1988, Feud of the Year in 1997 with the British Bulldogs, or the Hart Foundation rather, versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Then the Pro Wrestling of the Week, Wrestler of the Week, July 5th through 11th in 1987. And then, and that's to let everybody know he is in the Hall of Fames, even though he's not in the WWE Hall of Fame. He is in some Hall of Fames, and he's in the Stampede Wrestling Hall of Fame, and he was part of the class of 1995. The Prairie, or I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, but the Wrestling Alliance Hall of Fame in 2010, Legends Pro Wrestling in 2011, George Tragos and Luthez Wrestling in 2018, Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2019, and unfortunately, this the price for the classes on this last Hall of Fame is unknown, but he's also in the Canadian Wrestling Hall of Fame individually and with the Hart family. And just go into some facts. And Mark, you actually touched on this a little bit. He was, or Greg did one. Owen did stuck to his values a lot with it through his time. That's one of the reasons why what led to his death on May 23rd, 1999, at the Over the Edge pay-per-view, because he didn't want to do anything that would embarrass his family.
Mm-hmm.
Brett is the one that pushed the feud with Owen over his brother Bruce, because he thought Owen, it would be a whole lot better feud with Owen over Bruce. And Owen actually won the first Royal Rumble match before the first televised Rumble.
Yep.
Yep.
It was a house show. Yeah.
Yep. And finally, which I already mentioned that one, so. Owen was a very talented wrestler, and I wish he was still alive. I wish that would never happen. That the WWF should have stuck with the first regulars that they had, instead of going a cheaper way, another way, but just so they can have a latch that would be easier to come off.
Don't you guys find that a little odd that Vince tried that same stunt that same day and nothing happened? If he used the same exact rigging, you think he would have done the same thing? Like he would have failed if it was the same rigging?
Well, there's a little problem with that though. And there's the cape that's included, blue bleacher cape. So if you think about it, the cape, he might not have had the cape on when he did it earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Right, that's true. That's true. Yeah. And he was supposed to be in a storyline involving a love interest with Deborah, and he said no because he was a married man. So he could say no to something. He could have said no to that one to go up in the rafters. He could have said no.
He was trying to be like Sting back in the WCW era. So, like,
and it was the same guys that rigged Sting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do. But the thing is, Mark, that he said Owen was saying no to a lot of things, and he didn't feel like he could say no on that the rigging part. So, and that's coming from Martha herself, that he didn't feel like he could say no on coming down from the rafters.
I just picked that up on one of the unboxings. It came with Over the Edge, the actual pay-per-view. Came with the Larry King interview with Martha and Brett. That was pretty good. And then it came with the Raw tribute show to Owen Hart. That was a cool 3-disc set. That was awesome.
And it should mention that he did die. Of course, like I said earlier, at the Over the Edge pay-per-view in 1999. But he also died in Kansas City, Missouri, and the cause of death was the internal bleeding from blunt force trauma. That's mainly because he hit his head against the turnbuckle or the ring post one when he fell, like 78 feet from above the Kemper Arena.
Yeah.
Wow. He was supposed to win the IC title that night too.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go against the Godfather, and at the time when it happened, it was shown a backstage interview that he done as the Blue Blazer with Kevin Kelly, I believe, at the time.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching it in 1999.
Me too.
And right when Jarrett was doing his interview, he was trying to hold his composure because Owen was being wheeled right beside him on the stretcher.
And here's the problem I have with that pay-per-view. After it happened, they should have canceled the rest of the show. They should have ended it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. If it was my son who did that, I would cancel it.
Or spouse. One.
his,
or father.
his blood was on the ring, in the ring. So it's kind of scary. You're stepping in the guy's blood.
It was
And
a
it
yeah.
was it should be noted that he did. It was told that he was or by Jimmy Corderas, the referee, that was supposed to referee his match, that he was trying to get up, like it looked like he was doing like a half setup right after he fell.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And of course, I'm not sure if both of you seen it, but after they got him on a stretcher, his arm was just dangling off to the side.
Yeah. Saw that. Jeez.
And say, and another thing I have with that pay-per-view is the fans at home found out through JR, but they never did let the fans that was there in attendance know at all.
No.
They didn't know how the fans would react. They didn't want a riot on their hands or the fans to walk out.
They should have ended it anyway.
Yes, they should. I agree. There's only two matches left. They could have rebroadcast the other two matches than the night before, the night after, the night after. They could have done that, like they did with what do you call that? Beware a Dog. They did that for that pay-per-view. They could have done that with that one.
Yeah. Or they could have done at the time what they did nowadays. Have the rest of the matches on like a Raw or a SmackDown.
There you go. Yeah.
Which I believe at the time they didn't have the SmackDown didn't start at the time yet.
No.
I believe SmackDown started in like September, in between September and November that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they should have ended the show.
Yeah, and then of course either do like you said, Mark. We did the pay-per-view later on or on Raw. Have matches on Raw.
Yeah.
Maybe not the next night, but the following night.
Yeah.
The next night on Raw, like they should have dedicated that night to Owen Hart.
Which they did. They did. They had the tribute show on Raw. Yeah. Props to them though for having Austin come out at the end and actually doing the two beers, and for the guy that basically broke his neck to actually Austin to come out and do that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like,
and say, I love Owen, but Owen screwed up that night.
Yes.
When he did broke Austin's neck at SummerSlam '97, I believe.
Yep.
And another thing he messed up after that is he didn't call Austin up and apologize and check in and see how he was doing. No. He meant to, but he didn't.
No. That kind of pissed off Austin for a bit there, too.
What I would have done, and I would like to think that both of you would have done the same thing, was I would have called him for maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes on the phone, and at the airport before I got on the plane, and I called him up and said, I apologize, and I want to see how you are.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, knowing how long the plane ride would have been, and a time he got home from that airport in Calgary, Alberta, he forgot all about what he wanted to do. Plus, he was a family man.
Yeah.
When he got home, he shut off the business. When he got home, he didn't think about the business.
He didn't really care about it.
You say Owen didn't really want to become a wrestler. He wanted to be a fireman or a school teacher.
Yeah. He wanted to retire early.
Do you guys remember, though, that WWE actually capitalized on that when they had the T-shirt, Owen Hart, Owen 316, I just broke your neck? Like, they actually tried to do that.
Yeah.
What the heck? Like, and I don't think he should have been in the Nation of Domination. I think that was a bad fit for him. I didn't like him in the Nation.
Well, another thing is where they screwed up too is Vince wanted Brett to leave at a Survivor Series in '97. What they could have done, instead of having fucked up Shawn Michaels in there, they could have had Owen be himself, go into the match, win the WWF Championship from Brett, and then Brett just go on to his future endeavors to go to WCW.
Yeah.
And Owen could have carried it. This, if you really think about what happened, Shawn won the WWF Championship after through the screw job. Then 2 months later at the Royal Rumble, he had a casket match against The Undertaker, and he injured his back during that match. And then he retired about a little bit over 2 months later on March 29th, 1998 at WrestleMania 14.
Yep.
And I've even heard of Taker say that he would have taken Shawn Michaels' place at Survivor Series 97, and he would have done it. I think Brett could have dropped the title to anybody else but Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
I believe it should have been Owen.
No, Owen would have been a good choice too, yes.
To say Owen should have won the WWF Championship back in '94 when he was feuding with Brett, and he should have won it that night.
Yeah.
I think he should have at least got one main event WrestleMania out of it.
I believe he should. Owen should have won the WWE Championship at Survivor Series 1997 against his brother Brett. Then went on and then kept the championship up to WrestleMania 14, and then he would have lost it to Austin.
Yeah.
Then at least it would have been one WrestleMania main event that he had as World Wrestling Federation champion. And of course, then he could have went back down, at least temporarily, to the Intercontinental Championship level, and then worked himself back up to the World Wrestling Federation Championship, and won it one more time.
I think they should have had him and Brett actually win the tag titles at one point too, because that would have been cool to have a brother combination as tag team champions. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
And it also should be mentioned that he was also he debuted in 1983 on the professional level, and he was obviously trained by his father Stu.
I think some of the best matches he was in, him and Shawn Michaels at Rage in the Cage, I think it was, in Your House 6. It was Michaels' Royal Rumble title shot on the line. Him and Michaels had a match. That was a great freaking match. Him and Brett at 10, and that Canadian Stampede 10-man tag when he pinned Austin. Fantastic match. He had some
That
great
was
matches.
that was a good match.
Oh yeah. Just some of his matches.
If I had to say some of my favorite matches of Owen, that would probably be my second favorite Owen match. But my number one of all time, and this goes for my favorite WrestleMania match as well, would have to be the opening match from WrestleMania 10, Owen versus Brett.
See, that's why I think he should have won in the cage, because he beat Brett, and that night Brett won the title from Yoko, and that would have built to the match, and Owen should have won the cage, and then they had the storyline, Brett can't beat his brother. Brett can't beat Owen. Oh man, geez. And then Survivor Series, have a submission match, and there you go. Like,
Yeah.
that would have been perfect. But
Yeah.
because 11 wasn't that stellar. It wasn't a great WrestleMania. It was Shawn and Diesel. They could have had Brett and Owen in the main event there at 11, because Owen would have won the Rumble, challenged Brett for the title. That would have been awesome.
And quite honestly, the top two matches that of Owen that people start talk about today is the Owen versus Brett from WrestleMania 10, and it's still case at least singly.
Yeah. And actually, he was in a lumberjack match, which I think is on the Dungeon Collection. I think it's that one or the Heart and Soul, one of the two DVDs. He's a lumberjack match with Brett, and he actually gets announced as WWE champion, but the match gets restarted and Brett wins it. But that was cool. That was kind of a cool moment.
It is on the Owen Hart of Gold DVD.
That's what it is. Okay, I knew it was one of them. Yeah. Which I have it on Blu-ray, as a matter of fact. Yes.
And I thought I would mention that he was not only billed from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, but as the Blue Angel and Blazer, he was billed as part of Parts Unknown.
And I thought his match with Perfect at 5 at WrestleMania 5 was a good match too. That was an underrated match. It was short, but it was good.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia here, it shows that he has Greek descendants through his maternal grandmother and Irish through his maternal grandfather and Scottish descendants through his father.
Like he said, he wanted to be a fireman or a school teacher, but look what he grew up in. Every Hart family daughter married a wrestler, and every every Hart family man was a wrestler. So kind of hard not to grow into the business.
Yeah.
But of course, the most famous two of the Hart boys is Bret and Owen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then of course you go on to a little bit younger. You got Harry Smith, Davey Boy Jr. Jr. And then you got Natalia, that's famous from the Hart family. That's younger.
Yeah, Jim Neidhart's daughter. Yeah.
Yep.
And of course, Tyson Kidd, which is married into the family.
And good old Teddy Hart, who's having a lot of problems. Jeez.
Yeah. But he's not worldwide known though.
No.
Not as much as Natalia or Davey Boy Smith Jr.
No. But a good wrestler, but a lot of ego issues. Holy crap.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, but Owen was great. Top 10 in anybody's list. Top 5 easy.
Yeah.
Great guy. Prankster out back. Good guy.
I thought I should mention that Owen did have some matches with Shawn Michaels on Raw, and one of them is on the Heart of Gold DVD. The other one that I'm thinking of is I believe it's on the 15th anniversary of Raw DVD, and it's where Owen kicked Shawn in the head and he
collapsed. Yeah.
Mostly collapsed when he had a head injury.
Yeah. That was actually a good match until the ending. Yeah. And him and Bulldog in the European tournament finals. That was a good match too.
That's a great match too. And really, that would probably be my number 3 favorite of Owen. It's with Bulldog.
Yeah. And I like the fact he always made the slammies important. He always carried those slammies with him. He's the only one that did that with the slammies. That was cool.
Yeah.
And he didn't technically win one of them. So
he won one, and I think he stole the other one from Shawn. I think he did.
Well, he deserves something from Shawn.
Oh yeah, Shawn, you won everything else. Give it to somebody else, Christ.
Because I'm a firm believer, if it wasn't for Shawn Michaels, then Owen would have had a longer life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Because Shawn literally had to have everything in wrestling.
Look how many titles he gave up. Like for not being pinned. He got beat up by 9 guys out of a club. He lost his smile. Bull crap. He just didn't want to lose the title. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He wanted every championship under the sun.
What?
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer if Shawn didn't want to have or always want to be the champion, they would have had Owen defeat Bret at Survivor Series in 1997 and let him retain the championship up to WrestleMania 14 and then lost it to Austin.
Yeah.
Instead of having a European Championship match against Triple H.
Yeah.
Just think of how much of a better match that would have been, where it was Owen Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 14.
And actually, you could have had Triple H and Shawn for the European title. Actually, have it right,
Yeah,
like because they had it on Raw when they Triple H lied down, Shawn Michaels lied down, and Triple H covered him for the European title, something like that. They could have had at least a good match there. Michael Triple H would have protected Shawn, obviously his best friend. like they could have had that match.
and if you really think about it, too, it would have saved Shawn. Screw that is.
Yeah.
Because he would never got his back injured at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So therefore, he would have had those 4.5 years or whatever it was, to extra for his career.
I always thought that Shawn's second run was better than his first. When he found out and he got off the drugs, I thought he had a way better run second time around. One of the best in-ring performers, hands down. I agree. Shawn Michaels, great, but he was a dick in his first run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was a dick.
Yes.
If you're not boys with Shawn Michaels, he didn't care about you.
Nope. Well, I agree. Owen was way better in that aspect than Shawn by a mile. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know how Shawn is. He loves eating those cookies, and then forgetting about it.
When he came back after 4 years, he never lost a step.
Yeah.
Not for his in-ring ability, but at least when he came back, he was not a dick.
No, his attitude changed a lot. I'll give him props to him for that. For turning his life around, I'll give him that.
Even Triple H, Vince McMahon, and The Undertaker all said Shawn was very difficult to work with in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
But he would always do what you wanted at the end.
He didn't want you. He didn't want to do it. He
No.
thought, yeah, but
He'd eventually do it. Well, it's like Taker. He was sitting in a gorilla position at 14 with him and Austin, and he had his hands taped just in case Michaels had a better idea of not dropping the title to Austin. So Taker was ready to beat his ass.
oh yeah.
Is there any last final thoughts about Owen Hart?
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart was a great wrestler, great entertainer. You know, Kevin Owens' name is named after Owen Hart. If you do that.
Yeah.
Not only did Kevin Owens name his son after Owen, but his wrestling name of Kevin Owens is a tribute to his son, which of course started by tribute to Kevin or to Owen Hart. But Kevin also stated on the Owen Hart of Gold DVD that Kevin actually shares the same birthday with Owen Hart.
Yes, I did.
Of May 7th.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that if Bret would have still been in WWF in '99 when it happened, that Owen still would have went up there?
I don't think so, but I think Bret had a little more of a leeway than Owen did.
Yes, I'm more pull out back. Yes.
Than Owen did. So I think if Owen couldn't do it, I think Bret would have.
I think he would have tried to convince Owen not to go up there if he would have been in WWF at the time.
Well, I think he would have not only convinced Owen not to go up there, but I think he would have convinced Vince himself not to do it. Not to Owen.
Whoever put that to pen to say Owen Hart go up there, he's the one that killed Owen Hart. Vince Russo or Vince McMahon, one of the two. Whoever okayed it.
Well, the thing is, for that night, the WWF had two different riggers. The first rigger advised the WWF to not use the rigging that they wanted to use, so it'd be less pressure when the comes down.
Yeah.
And they should have listened to that first rigger. Because that second rigger used a sailboat latch. A sailboat latch.
Yeah.
Oh,
and there was actually Martha actually shown that latch on the Dark Side of the Ring episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she barely even pushed the damn fucking thing in an open. It only takes like 6 or 7 pounds of pressure to open it.
Well, see,
Yeah.
when Vince used it that day, that would have been the first rigging he probably used, and he's heavier than Owen. It didn't pop open. So yeah. Because even the zip line that Shawn Michaels did at WrestleMania 12, he saw Vince doing it the same day. Vince even tried that out when Michaels did the zip line at 12. So
Right.
Vince tried it out before everybody else. Yeah.
The difference is for that is they used the correct rigging for it.
Yeah.
They didn't use the sailboat latch for it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Imagine if they would have done that with Vince. Oh my God.
Just imagine if they used a sailboat latch with Vince, he would have been dead.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't have known the difference. Like, wow.
You have to think. You had to think. Would you want to? Or you had to think what would have happened, and would you want your family to have to worry?
No, I guess no. Jeez. Wow.
Because I wouldn't.
No.
Oh yeah.
Well, for Christ.
Because when he fell like 78 feet from above and hit the either the turnbuckle or the ring post.
Yeah.
I think if he actually just would have hit the actual ring itself, I think he still would have maybe not killed him, but he might have broken a lot of ribs and stuff if he actually just hit the ring floor. But hitting the buckle,
Because it was stated by Jimmy Corderas, the referee, that there was a slope in the ring. I believe even Jeff Jarrett himself said there was a slope for it.
Jesus. It would have been less, I think, if he just would have hit the ring, not the buckle. But geez, still would have messed him up.
Yeah, but it messed him up more because of that.
Yeah, jeez.
But I believe, firm believer, if one of the two things happened, it was either one, if he won the world championship at '97 or Survivor Series, that would probably never happen because he would have been more over with the fans. Or option two, if he had a little bit more pull with Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because if he had more pull, he would never done that.
And if you guys have the Wrestling with Shadows, and it's the 10th anniversary edition, it comes with the death of Owen Hart. That's a very good little
I have
document.
it.
Yeah.
I actually have it autographed by Brett.
Nice. But a very good documentary there too. Oh yeah, Owen was one of the greatest of all time, in my opinion. He was great in the ring.
Oh yeah.
And before we wrap this up, he also actually won 3 Slammy Awards for the biggest rat in 1994, Square Circle Shocker in 1996, and the best bow tie in 1997. And of course, he stole one from Sean.
And on the Heart and Soul DVD, one of the Easter eggs is his Slammy acceptance speech. It's on there, yeah. I think you go to one of the chapters and you just press left or right and it plays. Like,
It's usually right over left.
yeah, something like that. But it's on there, so that's a pretty cool thing to add on there.
You have any final thoughts about Owen?
Well, I think we pretty much had everything there is. Owen was great. I never heard anybody ever say a bad thing about Owen Hart.
No.
Well, I thought of one final thing to say, and that's Owen. I loved full pranks.
Oh yeah.
Big prankster, yeah.
And say there's actually a clip on YouTube. All you had to do is search Sony, Owen Hart, and then British Bulldog prank, and it's about a pizza, saying that Sony ordered the pizza when she didn't and everything. I advise everybody to check that out if you haven't already heard that. Uh, and one final thing, if you haven't already seen, I did a tribute video last year. If you want to check that out, go right ahead and look at that, watch it.
Nice.
And if you want to add me on Facebook, you can go ahead, Donnie Langston, and then Twitter and Instagram at Donnie Langston 5. Want to share your anything?
Me, it's MarkBoy316 on YouTube and MarkBoy316 on Twitter. Mark Saulnier on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook, Gregory Kramer. I'm on Twitter at The Real Gregory K. I'm on Instagram, Gregory Kramer1. I'm on YouTube, Gregory Kramer, or GK Kramer123.
There you go.
See you guys next